That almost worked.
That's a good one. I was actually watching Fuzzy today, and that occurred to me. Like, I wonder if that would work.
Yeah. No, apparently it takes just enough time for them to die that he can jump off them. I don't know if he's going to make it. Go! Oh.
Yeah.
I will be damned.
That would have been incredible if he'd pulled that off.
Yep.
Just wait. You're 10 seconds behind. So.
Yeah, this is completely. We've never seen anybody do this one.
Congratulations, Will.
Oh yeah!
That is new.
All right.
You jumped off a falling Juggo.
Who was in the process? Well, no, he was in the process of dying. He hadn't quite died yet.
It takes time for him to die. So
it becomes solid the minute he starts to fill him, and then he goes ghost again, like as he starts to die. But there's a tiny window there where he just happened to land.
God damn it! Do we have to put Will in the credits now?
You're in the history books, Will.
I'm glad it worked. I'm okay with that as a solution. If you're willing to do that, then
no, totally.
That took dedication. All right, I feel comfortable saying you saw it here first.
Yes, you definitely. Well, yeah, you definitely saw it first. Somebody else somewhere may have done it, but I've never heard of it.
And for you guys in the stream, that is part of the joy of being a game designer, at least of particular kinds of games, is that the player sometimes performs a miracle. Yeah. And you get to sit there and marvel at it because they took this thing that you thought you knew inside out and find a new way to speak through it.
Yeah,
and actually that's one of the most amazing things as a game maker about Twitch is suddenly now there's a place where you can go and just be a voyeur as people play your game. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've spoken before, both on the Twitch stream here and on some of our other forums about this idea of the joy of a player really inventing a solution to a problem that's new to you as a designer.
Mm-hmm.
And I always find it really hard to explain that to people in a way that they're really going to get. So I'm tickled that we've had a chance to show them an example of that here.
Yeah, that we could have made, frankly, a much smaller, more polished game that was sort of pure story, and in a lot of ways, for a studio our size, that would have been smarter. But that feeling that we just experienced is the reason why not. And it's watching that jazz that he just performed is. And
then there's this feeling.
And then there's this feeling,
which is not good. As you watch, there we go.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's not all jazz.
No.
But I mean, that comes with the territory, right? Like there has to be room, literally in the mechanical sense, play in the system, for the player to have struggles and frustrations, for them to really enjoy the joys of the system as well, and there has to be room for unexpected failures and for bypassing content and things that a certain school of game design does not embrace for a different kind of game. That I'm not going to disparage that kind of game, but to me, that ability for players to know that their solution was really their own and their experience was their own. That's what I'm really into. So.
Yeah, and in fact, that's what this Mushroom Wizard is doing here. Is he wants to audition for Underworld Ascendant? Mm-hmm. His whole thing is he's got a headshot stuff for you guys.
He's a tennis player in one and a doctor in another.
Yeah, he heard your game took place underground and was, hey, listen, I've done work as a walking mushroom before.
I'm waiting for him.
Should we got just a time check. We've got about 10 minutes left in our slot. I don't know if we want to obviously people are free to comment and ask questions at any time, but I want to encourage anyone who wants to while we have a chance to respond.
Looks like there's a question about the art style. I can answer that. Well, obviously, this part was inspired by a very particular 90s sci-fi game. which was discussed earlier. The other stuff is it began because the game was originally going to be set on a whiteboard. The idea being that it was all in the idea phase and you were trapped inside these discussions about making a game. And then as we started getting further along, then the idea that it was sort of concept art or that it could basically communicate an unfinished thing while hopefully still being visually striking meant that it was still really, we still liked it. We thought it was unique and different and communicated what we wanted it to about how unfinished this thing is. So we sort of stuck with it. But that was how we kind of first hit on the art style.
And I can take the question about Trey and Matt. I was a consultant on the South Park Stick of Truth, and I've been asked to return for the sequel, which is all about superheroes, the kids playing superheroes. And Trey and Matt played the game and offered feedback, and it burned into my brain and was very, very useful as I had to kind of choose between babies, basically. And so I wanted to thank them for just giving me really good advice at a crucial time.
I did not know you could space yourself out that airlock, Will.
Ah, yes. Yes. We'll figure this one out.
Yeah, that was a fast solve. So good job.
Another one of the more confusing behaviors
God weapons, but very powerful.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got to watch Fuzzy Freaks have a very fun, unintended sort of friend genocide today with Flame Burst and Parasite.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Good. Now we've got the nerd references.
Yeah. You know, you've edited them both, so you can summon them now.
Oh, that's true. Now summon Captain Kirk.
You can also carry a thing as you get teleported back, so you could have just jumped off with him.
But like you were saying, the summoning works fine.
Yeah, you can use the map.
Yeah, I know there's also there's a lot of stuff that I have yet to find in this game, which I can tell I've yet to find because of the stats that I haven't acquired yet. But it's going to take some dedication for me to.
Yeah, I mean, what you were saying earlier about bypassing content, that's one of those things that we just sort of had to embrace. Like the fact that there are so many possible solutions to the kind of main problems in the game means that you can decide that you're done and move forward without touching even maybe a third, like 2/3 of the content, which is as somebody who slaves over that stuff, you kind of have to make your peace with it.
Yep, absolutely.
A couple more questions. Mr. Mark asked, "What's the future?" Depending on how the game does on PC and Mac, we'd like to potentially bring it to one of the consoles. So that is a possibility.
Yep. Another thing we've talked about that we would love to do is put in Rift support, because we had it working at one point, and this game was great in the Rift. So, but there's a lot of problems to solve. So it kind of depends on the success.
Yeah. What was your biggest struggle? Kane, why don't you take that one?
I think probably the hardest thing for us was we're all kind of chronically optimistic when it comes to the scope of the game. Like we normally in teams that we work at, we have people who say no to the things we want to do that make the game better. None of us have that kind of personality, so we just kind of kept going. And the hardest part was finding where to set a boundary to what the player could do, and how to support that. So because we wanted to let the player own the experience, we kind of let them do anything, but sometimes that anything leads to a situation where they can't, they break the game like to an irrecoverable level or crash game or whatever. And so just giving them the freedom to support, say, the Parasite thing, and not putting any limits on that, forced us to come up with other solutions in subtle ways that still kept designers out of the way.
Yeah, and one of our biggest probably problems was related to what Kane was just saying, which is our definition of scope was when we couldn't think of more things, which is a really, really bad way to go about making a game.
Yeah.
It was we were terrible about that kind of stuff.
It's like we want to support subtitles. Okay, somebody's going to have to type every single subtitle for every voiceover in the entire game.
Yeah, although I think that was sort of like penance for Jordan for writing so many words. He had to now write them out carefully into a giant subtitle table.
Definitely. No, I have now learned to hate each and everything that I said in this game.
All right, how are we doing for time now? We got a few more minutes. Good.
Thanks, Quantum. We appreciate that. And, you know, where it has been a long, hard journey, and but it has also been really rewarding to do something so different. And for all of its warts.
Can you repeat the comment that you're giving thanks for, so that our archive listeners will know what to...
Not really a question, but I just wanted to say that the game looks great and congrats on the release. So thank you for that.
All right. Those of us in the future watching the archive of the video, thank you for that.
Yes.
We've learned some of these things from previous Twitches, how to do this a little bit more right.
To answer Raycaster, yes, Underworld will have procedural generation as well as genetic algorithms for each and every single AI that will be completely unique. You'll have babies with personalities birthed from these algorithms based on your behavior.
And thus guaranteeing the question was never asked back ever again.
No comment.
And yeah, Fuzzy and Mark talking about the difficulties of streaming the Magic Circle. Yeah, like this is a very realistic, unscripted playthrough that you guys are watching. Like there is a certain amount of wandering and thinking, and I know you guys deal with that as streamers, trying to keep it entertaining. But a lot of the play, some of the beautiful play, happens in the player's head. Yeah. And so we sympathize, and thanks for soldiering through.
Yeah, I know. That's something that has really impressed me watching streamers, is their ability to make that figuring things out fun to watch and listen to.
Yeah,
like
a good streamer will like really think out loud in a way that is entertaining and informative. That the way that I think out loud does not sound like. We are as a substitute for that process. We basically just mock Will as he plays. So.
That works. Yeah, and he can just name creatures after you guys in passive aggressive ways.
Exactly. One of these days we'll get him his own microphone. We tried for this week, but
I think Will's trying to write a novel inside the character names.
Yeah. He's a real aficionado of epithets, I noticed.
Yes.
Rat Lord, the Lord of the Rats.
Mild insanity we definitely support, Fuzzy.
Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you, everyone, as we get into our final few minutes here, possibly our final very, very short amount of time.
Thank you guys for having us, and thanks to everybody in the channel.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I had a ball.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
We can't wait for your game.
Yep.
Oh, us too. Still going to be a bit of a haul for us.
Yeah, you got the road ahead of you still.
All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks again for joining us.
Oh, yeah, pleasure.
Great. Thanks.